Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am here with Donald Wills, and we are here with another film discussion, which is ta- uh, we're doing Riddick, the Riddick series, all Riddick, everything Vin Diesel. So, how are you, Donald? And why Riddick? Why this series? Is it because we did
Um,
like the Triple
actually,
X movies? Huh?
actually, this was your pick before. I just
Oh,
said, "Hey, I just happened to find my movies," and I was like, "Why don't we do that?" Because I think we were supposed to do,
oh, that's
uh,
right. It was my idea.
what was the one? The Triple X movies, and then do Riddick, and then we decided to do worst films instead. So it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Before we begin, I do want to address. We had some people saying about my volume and my sound. I do apologize if I sound terrible. I've tried everything in my power to get this done. I've Trust me, I've tried. I bought this. I can't use this because I have to put it into the USB. And I do this on my phone. So if I don't have this plugged into on the charger, this is gonna die within before we even get the 2 hour mark. So I can't use this. And I've also went and bought this little blue one, which I thought you might get a kick out of that. I don't know if you could see it.
Does it say condenser?
No, right that number right there.
I can't. Oh, 666.
Yeah.
Nice. I do like
I
that.
thought
It's my
you'd get a
favorite.
kick out of that.
It's my
But the
favorite
problem,
number besides 69.
uh, now the problem with this microphone, which the only reason I bought it is because it has the audio jack that has like the splitter, and this worked in my previous microphone before, but evidently for some reason it's not working in this. So I
So,
tried, guys. I apologize.
what about a laptop?
Hmm?
What about a laptop?
I have a laptop. It just doesn't work. I got to get a new one, and I'm broke right now.
Okay.
So
So people have
money's
been
been a little
warned.
tight lately.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I appreciate you letting people know, and hopefully they'll be kind. I'm hearing you fine, but I can turn. I have my Bluetooth died, and so now I'm using the headset, but it's plugged into my speakers, like the portable speakers, so I could turn the volume up and down. So
Yeah.
for me, you sound fine. So, but I guess we'll
When
let the audience
when I listen
decide.
to the replay when you upload it, I do sometimes sound a little louder. Like sometimes when you're talking and I say something, I kind of overpower you a little bit. So I'll try to when I talk try to tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Turn
So
it
let's just try
down a
that.
little bit. Turn it down. Bring it down. Okay. All right. Okay, so now that explanations are out of the way, well, and I'm hoping that a fan is not going to show up on my microphone. I have it set up to take out background noise, but it is so damn hot in this room, and even with the AC
Yeah.
on, which is on 70, it's still very hot, and I'm pretty much under a fan, and that doesn't help. So
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. That's all we could do.
It's all we can do.
So before we get into this, I'll say I'll say my side first is I really like the Riddick series. I like Vin Diesel. I've brought this up on a couple things, even with Triple X, that I did meet him at Sundance in 2000 when he
Mhm.
was out there for Boiler Room. And in fact, I do have. I can even here. Let's see here. I can do. I can add one more picture here, and I did find. Um, Unfortunately, none of my. I have a lot of pictures in on the timeline here, but um, they are not in a particular order. So let's see. This is probably just going to instantly pop up. There it is. So there, that's the Vin Diesel. So this is Sundance. So that's the Vin Diesel that I met back in 2000.
Okay.
So that's him there. So that's. I wish I took a picture of him because there are a few pictures on Google of him, with people, and but very nice guy, very humble guy. Back
At the
then,
time, anyway.
yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of this so I can. Okay, so then I can go back up to here. Okay, I'm still learning how to use this timeline, so I guess we have more more things to let people know. And I think I've mentioned this in the Triple X video, but I think that there's 3 Vin Diesels, and I think that the Pitch Perfect. Wow, we should be reviewing those movies. The Pitch Black films are or Riddick films.
Welcome to film discussion, everyone.
Yeah, we're just nothing works, including my brain. It is Pitch Black would be the humble, I'm glad to be working, my name's above the credits type of thing for Pitch Black. Then he has the Chronicles of Riddick, which is I'm the greatest actor ever. I am God to the film industry. Oh, you want me to take off my shirt? It's an extra $1 million. Oh, well, I can do no wrong. Then there's Riddick, which is the back down to the humble, Vin Diesel, because things bombed. He's just like, well, crap, what do I do? And then, well, we'll make another Riddick movie. And he really couldn't get a lot of funding, from what I understand. And some of it is like self-produced, which is why it's a smaller movie. The Chronicles of Riddick is a huge movie. And so obviously the studio thought that he could do no wrong, and I don't think the film did very well. So there's those 3. I think that those are definitely the way that Vin Diesel has worked. I am a big fan of Vin Diesel. I do like him. I like all the franchises. I'm a huge Fast and Furious would be my second favorite action franchise. Mission Impossible being the first. But I like Mission Impossible. Of course, I like Mission Impossible. Fast and Furious. Riddick, Triple X. I like all that stuff. I just like Vin Diesel. So, so what is your take on Vin Diesel and the whole Riddick thing and all that?
Well, I mean, Riddick. The Riddick series is. I've seen the first 2. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if I've seen the second one the whole way through. I think I may have caught it. Like maybe a buddy of mine was watching it or something, and when I went to his house, we got like the last 45 minutes of it. So because when I watched the second one, I was like, I don't remember seeing this, and then all of a sudden the last 45 minutes was more familiar. So I was like, so I must have seen this like on TV or something. I'm not 100% sure where I've seen it, but I've seen the first one like a couple of years ago, like when I was younger. But I've always enjoyed Vin Diesel. He's one of those actors I will watch anything that he's in. I mean, I've stated in the Triple X video that we did that I watched Disney's The Pacifier just because he was in it. It wasn't a great movie.
It's funny that you say that.
It wasn't a great.
I was going to suggest, because I was just thinking of The Pacifier, I was going to suggest maybe for a film discussion down the road, we do big muscle actors with children. So like Schwarzenegger, Kindergarten Cop, you have The Rock with, was it Tooth Fairy, and then we have Vin Diesel, Pacifier, as I'm sure there's probably more out there. So, which would be such a dumb thing to talk about, but I think that it would be funny because they all did them.
All right, if we do this, we have to include Hulk Hogan's Mr. Nanny.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So that's okay. That's 4 films. So that works. That works then. So,
there you go. There you go.
So I'm sorry. I interrupted you only because you said Pacifier.
You're good. You're good, man. You're good.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that was like I've watched the Fast and the Furious movies. I have not watched all of them. I'm actually waiting for them to actually do the last one whenever that's going to be, if they ever do end it. They say they're going to end it, but I don't actually believe them
It's
half the
supposed to be a
time.
trilogy, so there's supposed to be. We
That's
only
what
got
I've
the
heard.
first one. Yeah, I don't know.
It
The
was,
first this didn't
and
do very
it
well.
was only supposed to be a two-parter at one point, and they turned it into a trilogy. So I just don't think they want to end it. Let's just be real here.
Well, they
So
shouldn't. If they keep making money, you know.
no, exactly. So, but yeah, that's Vin Diesel is like one of those actors I will watch if he's in the movie. Now I'm sure he's done some pretty awful movies just because why not?
Well,
Uh,
you get thrown everything, and not everything. Once you're because he did a film that I've never heard of. If I'd have to go look it up, but then after that, he did a second film. This is like written, produced, directed by, acted by Vin Diesel. I forget what the very first one is. I didn't even realize it until recently. I thought Strays was his first film that he wrote, produced, directed, starred in, and Spielberg saw that and said, "Hey, I want you to be in Saving Private Ryan." So
yes.
even though he had probably been out there for a few years, he got a big break really
Yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
and so it's yeah. I mean, I have no issue with the guy. I have no problem with him at all, and I mean, I heard that he even dated like Michelle Rodriguez for a while. So, I mean, that would be an interesting relationship, I think. But yeah, I mean, I just like the guy. I don't care. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, I'll pretty much watch. And this stuff has been hit and miss. So
Yeah.
not everything is good because I think they were just throwing everything at him.
Well, I
And
mean, let's be real here, man. Every actor's had their highs and lows. I mean, there's no actor that's had a hit in every single thing they've been in. So it's to be expected. So
right, yeah, because he was in. I don't think it adds. Yeah, it does. No, because it doesn't show. Is it multifacial? Yeah, that's it. So he was in Awakenings, that movie with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. He's uncredited. He's an orderly. That would be fun to watch. God, I don't want to watch Awakenings, but that'd be kind of funny, fun to watch him just as an orderly. Yeah, the thing that he did, it's short film, writer, director, producer. It's called Multifacial.
okay.
And it says that this is actually the film that Spielberg noticed him in. I always heard it was Strays, also writer, director, producer. I heard
Maybe
that's
he's
the
seen
one.
both of them. Maybe
Yeah, well, yeah,
maybe Spielberg's seen
multifacial.
both of them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because Awakenings was 1990, Multifacial is 95, Strays is 97, and then he did Private Ryan in 98, and it was pretty much just no looking back because after Saving Private Ryan, Iron Giant, Boiler Room, Pitch Black, The Fast and the Furious, Knockaround Guys, Triple X. I mean, he's pretty much just nonstop. So
Yeah.
and it's so it's nice that we could talk about this. If the Fast and Furious weren't so big, if it didn't have so many movies, I'd say let's do that one too. But I think
We we would have to do like maybe three separate parts or something.
yeah,
Like
look at like
maybe like the
two
first
or three.
trilogy, then the second trilogy, then or maybe like I don't know, like maybe like the first three or four, then do the next four, and then do after. Like I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
someday,
because
maybe
because
someday.
it would be. I'm not going to go through them all, but it would be yeah, like 1, 2, 3, which would be Tokyo Drift.
Hmm.
That's the one that he did the cameo in. That's the prequel, and he
Yeah.
did the cameo in the movie with the condition that the studio sold him the rights to Riddick.
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't give him a paycheck, but they gave him the rights to Riddick.
Okay.
So it kind of ties back into Fast and the Furious, and then of
Hmm.
course he was back for part 4,
Yeah.
and then part 5 is still considered to be the best one because that's also when they bring in The Rock.
Hmm.
So Vin Diesel, Pacifier, Rock, Tooth Fairy. It all kind of works out. So
Like a conspiracy theory, man. It's like, and this one's connected to this, and this is connected to that, and oh,
it is. Maybe this is like, in some, I don't know, deep dark
an
underground
Illuminati,
Pentagon
Illuminati
thing.
confirmed.
Yeah, it's just all Vin Diesel movies and how they link together and how it all works in the world. And like it, but if they, and that's why everything is like a prequel or a sequel in like the Fast and Furious films, that there is like some big government conspiracy going on with that, but because they
It
have to
might
make
be.
something linked to something else, otherwise it's gonna like screw everything up.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe.
So, okay. So, like I said, I'm still trying to get to learn how to do this whole thing here. So, well, let's first show. So, you own this, right?
I that might be the slipcover, but I have this.
Oh, let's see. No, you have a different one than me. Yeah, they even have two different colors here.
Okay.
But
This is
yours,
the.
you have the two movies and then the animated one, right?
This is all four of them.
Oh, it has
This,
Riddick on there too?
yes, it has Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, and then Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Fury.
Okay, yeah, because mine has three movies on it, and it's, yeah, Pitch Black Blu-ray, The Chronicles of Riddick Blu-ray, and then The Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury DVD. Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. It also includes the unrated director's cuts and theatrical versions.
This one also includes the director's cut of all three movies.
Are yours
It
individual discs, or did they combine any of them?
The only one they combined was the the Dark Fury animated movie, which is on this one. Right? So
Okay.
this is Pitch Black and Dark Fury animated movie. Then you turn it around, you got Chronicles of Riddick, and then just Riddick.
Okay. Yeah, because I got Riddick here. I got it like that.
Okay,
Because I think this came out when Riddick was coming out.
okay, makes
So I
sense.
think that's what that is. And then yours came out after Riddick. So, and this is
Probably,
the.
yeah. This was 2009, right? Maybe 2014, because Riddick came out in
Yeah, dude,
2013.
this
Right?
is. Yeah. Yeah.
So this was like the year after they just combined all of them and just put them into into a set. So
Which makes sense because they'll, since they are making part four, there'll probably be a whole new box set coming out with stuff. So
probably.
yeah, and this is the Blu-ray
And
DVD digital unrated director's cut, also includes theatrical version.
as far as I know, this is the only way you can get Dark Fury on Blu-ray. Maybe don't quote me on that
Oh,
because
okay.
it's included with it's on the Pitch Black Blu-ray. So I don't know if Pitch Black was available on any of the other DVDs or Blu-ray copies or not, but this is the one. This one just has them both on with black with has it included with Pitch Black, the first movie. So.
Yeah, Blu-ray. Yeah, yeah, definitely Blu-ray DVD. This is right there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
So your one is I think it's the better one then because they're all on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I mean, plus it's all in one package. So the only reason I got this is because I traded with a buddy of mine. He was getting rid of a bunch of his movies, and he's like, "Hey, I need a sports game to play or something like a PS3 sports game." And I was like, "I have a couple sports games. You want them?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll give you this for one of them." There you go. I
Oh, fair
think I
deal,
got
I
the better
think.
end. I think I got the better
Yeah,
deal.
I think so. So yeah. Um. Okay, so let's get into Pitch Black. That's the movie poster for it. Vin's name is not on it yet, so it's just pitch black. He's just down here in the credits. Where would he? Looks like he's well. I think he's the #1 person on the poster here. Let me enlarge this and see. Is he the first person? Yeah, he's the first person on the credits for the poster. And then Raja or Radha, I'm not sure how you say her first name, Mitchell is the second person. So
That's the one that played the Muslim.
No, she was the ended up being the pilot or the captain of the. Yeah, I think she's gorgeous. And but so what is your take on? So let me see if you agree with this, and I guess now with part 4 coming out, maybe it would make more sense. When Chronicles came out, Vin Diesel said this is like the Lord of the Rings. So Pitch Black is the Hobbit, and then Chronicles of Riddick would be, what is it, the Fellowship of the Ring? And then I guess Riddick would be Two Towers, and then Riddick 4 would be the Return of the King. So just going off of at the time, there was only Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. Do you think that follows that? Do you think he's correct?
I mean, if you're going by, if Pitch Black would have been like his story of like how he became who he was, like how he became like the murderer that he was, how he became the convicted murderer he was, or just going into like, maybe not going into the other side, which we'll talk about later, but going into like, how he became like leading up to his capture would have been probably better than, what we have here, because I mean I like the movie, but it's just probably my second favorite, or maybe second least favorite.
Okay, I think it's more ego that he would compare these to because the Hobbit hadn't come out yet. The movies. It was just the 3 Lord of the Rings. So so I think to compare his movies to the Lord of the Rings series, I think is okay, I guess. All right, sure, why not? But I remember I saw this in the theater and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't know it would end up being like a franchise or anything.
Yeah.
But I liked it, and there is a female actress, and well, female actress, that's kind of redundant. There is an actress who is playing a boy, Jack. I don't remember all the people's actual names, but she plays Jack, but she's supposed to look like a boy because it's like is it, I always get them confused. Keith David or David Keith is the Muslim guy.
I'm not sure.
Keith David. So he. And then they find out that he is a girl because Vin Diesel can smell her period. And I kind of like that in a way, but I remember in the theater going, that's a girl. That's not a boy.
Yeah.
That's a girl.
Yeah, I was kind of seeing that from the get-go, because when I watched it the second time, no, but the first time I watched the theatrical cut of this movie. I was, at the time, I think I may have been too young to appreciate what they were trying to do, and I hated it at first. This time around, when I watched the director's cut, I matured a little bit. I'm more used to now, being like a filmmaker. I can appreciate what they're doing now more than what I did back then. So when you see like the different tints that they used, like on this side of the planet was blue, on this side of the planet was red, I was like, that's genius. So, but yeah,
It definitely looks like they were trying to build a world.
yes,
Yeah. So it's because that's, and I have here. Like I said, I'm still learning how to use all this stuff. I tried to find a picture of Vin Diesel from each film, and I don't think his character looks any different. He might have more stuff on, like more clothing, but he kind of looks the same in every single movie.
I think his glasses change, like the goggles.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they
by the
change
time he
every.
hits Riddick, I think they're more electronic because he has like all the
I don't know
numbers
about
on them, and
electronic, but they definitely have some designs on them, like
yeah,
different
I might.
designs I've noticed.
Well, yeah, when we get there, I think I have a picture of do I have a picture with those glasses? Well, we'll find out. So, what do you think about his look in this?
I mean, he was mysteriously looking. You know, if he was, playing the bad guy, he definitely nailed that. I kind of liked the when like he was kind of like almost like Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger. He's like stalking everybody. You know he might be killing everybody. He may not be killing everybody. We don't know for sure until later on in the movie.
But he does end up being like an anti-hero though, because
Yeah,
Cole Hauser ends up being really the at least the human villain in this. Are we gonna find out at some point that he's a murderer because it was in self-defense? Like, is he like he's not just Hannibal Lecter or something that, but he or
yeah,
Jason that what we think is, oh my god, this guy's a cold-blooded killer. He'll just kill anybody. That they'll do what they're doing now these days, where they're taking a psychopath and they're doing a prequel, and now we're finding out why the person's this way, and we're supposed to feel sorry for them. Kind of like what they did with what was it, 101 Dalmatians with the villain in that, how they did that movie with Emma Stone, and it's like we're
yeah.
supposed to feel sorry for this woman.
For
She
Cruella
she
Deville.
yeah, she did skin how many dogs, to make a coat, but yet we're supposed to feel sorry for her. So I wonder if in part 4 or something we're gonna, because he does go back to his home planet, if we're gonna get
It's
the
possible.
you were misunderstood. You killed because you had to, instead of him just being a cold-blooded killer.
Well, I always looked at them as when I read fantasy books, we have a genre called grimdark, and basically where in this genre of fantasy is basically where you're following characters that are what we call morally gray. So they could either do really bad things or do really good things. So that's what I look at Riddick as. Like, he's willing to help out, but he's also willing to kill you if you get his way. So he's not good or bad. He's just like in the middle. He's just out for number one at that point.
Right.
I want to save myself. I don't really give two craps about you. I mean, later on at this point, he's like that. But later on, you kind of see like he starts to get more like towards his human side. He's like, hey, I'm actually starting to care about these people. I'm trying to protect some of these people. I actually grew attached to someone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he's definitely, he everybody's scared of him, but like he keeps saying, excuse me, I'm not the one that you should be scared of, and so it's like, but he still kind of plays off of that. This next picture here. So I added in like kind of like the villains in each one, more or less. I've left out a lot of actors from these because there's just too many pictures. But so that's Cole Hauser. That's Wings Hauser's son. I'm a massive Wings Hauser fan. I was really upset when he passed away. But I do like his son, and I think that Cole Hauser really has not, gotten his due. I think that he's a much better actor than probably what they're giving him roles to do. But he ends up being the bad guy. At first, we're supposed to be scared of Riddick, and we're on this guy's side. He is because he comes back later. Cole Hauser's John's, and
Yes.
and he ends up being like a drug addict, and he ends kind of turns into a psychopath.
Addicted to
So
morphine.
Yeah. So what do you think kind of about that twist where Riddick is the one who maybe is like if you were to watch him daily, maybe he's a guy that like he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't he's goes out and maybe hunts so he eats meat, or
Yeah.
drinks water or something like that. I don't see him as a big druggy or person like that. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, if you remember in the one that one scene where the girl and him are together when she walks in on him, yeah, doing the morphine through his eyes. She's like, you
Yeah.
mercs are all the same. You act all goody goody in front of people, but behind closed doors, you're really just pieces of low life at this point. So that's what he was kind of playing. Like, when he was around everyone, he was like, I'm doing everything the right way. I abide by everything. I'm good to the core. But behind closed doors, when him and Riddick are by themselves, you kind of see like his darker side. You kind of see him you know, like like at one point, I think he like punches Riddick when he was chained up. He sits
Yeah.
there and like telling him like, if I had it my way, I would kill you right here. But the powers that be want you alive. So it's, I
Okay.
think he did a great job. I mean, he definitely played he played both sides of the coin very well. And the way and when he flipped, um, it was believable. Like I said, when he was around people, he was the good guy. With just him and Riddick or by himself, he's the not so good guy. So I think he did a fantastic job.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think he did a really good job too. So just kind of slowly going nuts and all. So he
Yeah,
really ended up being the main bad guy in this whole thing, and so then but we also have the monster. So there, the human threat, it seems to be a little more dangerous because monsters are monsters. We know what they're going to do. These guys come out at night,
yeah,
and the our captain of the ship, Mitchell, she finds inside this kind of, I guess, lab or whatever it is that they go into. She finds all the planets, and when it lines up,
yeah,
there's the eclipse, and these are night creatures, so they have like all these catacombs and all this stuff all set
yeah.
up, and they fly out, and then they just attack people and kill them.
Hmm.
I like the design of them. I think that they're pretty
Yeah.
cool. What do you think?
It's actually I think it's every 22 years the
Okay.
planets align because when she was looking at the last the lab sample or whatever she's like, this is dated 22 years ago, and then when she's actually went back and rotated the planets to like year 22, she noticed that the planets aligned, that you went into complete darkness, and that's the only way these creatures survive. Because actually, I think at one point they even say light hurts them or something. So
Yeah.
it's real. It was definitely. I was telling my wife when I was watching this, I said, this is like half this movie is like them, like a survival movie, and then the last bit of this movie is almost like a horror movie. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like, well, Night of the Living Dead. It could be that these creatures, they all have names, but I don't know them, to be honest. Even though I'm a fan
Yeah,
of the series, I don't
especially
know all the
when
names. But the creatures are almost like the zombies, and then
yeah,
Johns Coles Hauser is kind of like the guy, the husband who's downstairs in the basement, and then Riddick is like our of course the lead, the black guy in there, and then Roger Mitchell would be maybe Barbara. So
yeah.
I see a lot of comparison to Night of the Living Dead in this. So
I just looked it up. These creatures are called bioraptors.
oh, okay.
So, as you can see right there,
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
how
okay.
well you
Cool.
can see that. So,
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I didn't know
Well,
what they
then,
were called when you said I don't know what they're called. I'm like, oh, well, let me look it up real quick.
yeah, I'm bad with names and stuff, unless
Me
it's
too. Me too. I mean they. I don't know if that was just something that maybe they did after the fact, or maybe the fans called them that, because I don't think they were ever mentioned a name of them through the series. I'm not. Or maybe if unless I missed it somewhere, or if it was written down somewhere we just didn't catch it.
yeah, I don't remember. I don't think so, but
I don't
and
think
wouldn't
so either. But
and you're
you
saying
never know.
Bioraptor?
Bioraptors, yes,
Because wouldn't bio then be that they were created? Like,
that's a possibility. Maybe that's what the lab was experimenting on with these creature or creating these creatures, and the lab. No, when it went dark on them, they got something went wrong, and they broke out, and then they started reproducing and built these catacombs in the dark. I don't know.
oh, so we need a prequel then.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
But the prequel, they could have Vin Diesel as like the producer or something, but or
Yeah,
maybe do I don't know what else he would do, but yeah, he wouldn't be in it. It would just be what's going on with these creatures. So,
yeah,
what do you think of them? So this is the DVD, and so it's
yeah.
the unrated director's cut. What do you think about them changing it to the Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black?
I mean, now that we know that it was a series, because when I first heard of this, I didn't even know this was part of the Chronicles of Riddick series until I looked it up one day. So it kind of makes sense to have it like, you know, now mine, the Blu-ray I have doesn't call it the Chronicles of Riddick; it just calls it Pitch Black. So I'm assuming they did it to maybe avoid confusion, maybe because people were probably thinking Pitch Black was its own movie, and then Chronicles of Riddick was a completely different movie.
Yeah,
That
because
could be a
they
possibility.
well, like what George Lucas and Spielberg did, I think it's more of a Lucas thing for Indiana Jones, because Raiders of the Lost Ark is Raiders of the Lost Ark. The other ones are Indiana Jones and. So on the
Yeah.
video box, they changed it to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, so they could all be put together
Okay.
instead of it just being I and then R. So I wonder if this is kind of that same idea, but then Riddick is just Riddick.
Yeah.
So I guess yeah, that they want people to know, oh, this is part of that Chronicles of Riddick. If it was a bigger
This is
hit, maybe.
this is part of the Riddick series, so that's what we want to make sure that people know this is the first movie. Or they could have just put like Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick under the bottom, maybe. I don't know. Or it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, yeah, because the title of the movie is still Pitch Black when you play it. So,
Yeah.
and this was, its budget was 23 million, and it made 53.2 million. So not too bad, not too bad.
Okay.
And so let me go. I'm trying to get over to where. Okay, there it is. Chronicle of Riddick. There. So then we'll go there. Okay. So then, so what I have to do, because I screwed up and I didn't put these in. Like I said, I'm still getting used to doing all this stuff. So give me 1 second to find our next movie here. There we go. So the sequel to that. So I'm going off to let people know I'm going off of Wikipedia. This is the Chronicles of Riddick franchise, and we're doing films first, then short films, video games, television. So even though there is a film in between Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick, we'll get to
Yeah.
that. But it's which is the Dark Fury. But
We'll
so
go,
this
maybe
is
we'll go over like a watch order, because I did not watch them in this order. I actually watched them like with the short films in between, and the motion comic or whatever. So we'll go over that when we're done talking about the movies and the short films and all that.
excuse me. Yeah. So, what did you think of the Chronicles of Riddick, like in comparison to, let's say, Pitch Black?
I mean, you can definitely tell the budget went up. You can definitely tell there was they used a lot more special effects in it. Like the first one, the special effects were really kind of saved for like the ship crashing and the creatures. So like I'll even go as far as saying is that the Pitch Black kind of feels more like a independent film outside of the special effects that they had to use. So, but this one definitely feels more Hollywood than Pitch Black did. Now, I'm not saying that they're bad movies. I'm not saying. I'm just saying this feels a little more depending on special effects than the previous movie.
Well, because we have, so Pitch Black was 2000, and then he did The Fast and the Furious, Knock Around Guys, Triple X. He did a short film called the turbocharged prequel for Too Fast, Too Furious. Short film
Okay.
uncredited archive footage. Then he did A Man Apart, then Chronicles of Riddick. So Fast and the Furious did well. I don't think Knock Around Guys did great. Triple X must have done well to get a sequel
Yeah.
that he wasn't part of,
Mhm.
and the short film doesn't really count. A Man Apart, I don't think did great either, but I liked it. And then Riddick, so he's kind of, maybe he is at that point of the studio will take a chance on him
Yeah.
and give him that bigger budget.
Mhm.
Because this did not do well at all. This failed. Its budget for Chronicles of Riddick is 105 to, wow, this is a huge gap, 105 to 120 million. And it only made 115.8 million.
Ooh.
So, and as we know, a film has to make at least, back then, twice its budget
Yeah.
to
So
be
basically, it
successful.
broke even, but that's about it. So it was
Yeah,
pretty much a flop.
yeah, I think I just learned this. Like, 105 would be like the budget, and then that going saying between 120, that would also include marketing,
Mhm.
cuts, all that type of stuff. You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, so its budget might have only been like 105, and it made
Yeah.
115.8. So that is not good.
Not good at all. Not good at all.
No. And so with that being said, let's take a look at I got, okay, so something that, okay, I'm going to kind of do this in the order that, I'm sorry guys, for some reason these didn't stick. I thought I had them all up here. Um so okay. So like the first one has Cole Hauser. This one has Carl Urban,
Okay.
who is kind of the villain, but not the villain, because there is a main guy, like the leader of
Yeah.
everybody. He's maybe like he's going to be like the next in line, but he's also working with his wife to maybe get rid of that guy so that he could
Yeah.
take over. So there is a kind of Shakespearean type conspiracy going on here,
Mhm.
and so I think that Vin Diesel's character, I think Riddick, and Carl Urban, who is Commander, and I may be pronouncing this wrong, Valco.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So, what did you think about Carl Urban?
I think he did it. I think he did a good job. I mean, he definitely play. I guess again, just like John's from the first movie, he plays the coin very well. You can tell he wants he wants to betray, like his wife wants him to betray the leader of that religion, or what are they called?
The
Necromongers,
necromancers. Yeah, they're
necrom-
yeah,
necromongers, or something like that.
yeah, necromonger. Yeah,
Yeah.
necromonger. He's the necromonger
Okay.
commander.
Yeah. So I guess he's like he wants to be loyal to him, but he also wants to be loyal to his wife. So he kind of has to find that fine line between the two, and you know,
Yeah, Lord Marshall. He's the main guy,
yes,
and so and I like this world. I think when I saw it, maybe because it was the theatrical version, I went but then when I saw it unrated because it's 14 extra minutes,
yeah,
I enjoyed it quite more. I just like this whole world, and I think that with the animated film that's in between the two, which we'll talk
mm,
about, I think it works. I think
yeah,
it actually I like that it because I'm now into animated films. I'm watching all like the DC stuff, and so I'm kind of into that stuff right now where I didn't used to be. But
mhm,
even in something like Watchmen, the Zack
yeah,
Snyder's Watchmen, it has, if you watch the like ultimate director's cut, it has all the animated stuff from the comic book, and
yeah,
so it goes from live action to animation, and which I now
mhm,
think is really cool. But I think that it's I just like this whole world. It works for me, and I wish
yeah,
that they would have done more with it, and they really haven't. It's taken so long
mhm,
to get new movies, so we'll
yeah.
have to see. The one thing that I did not like, and that is Kara Jack.
The one, the one that
So
plays Jack. Yeah,
yeah, so this is a different actress from who played Jack in the first movie. She's fine. I have nothing against her. I just
yeah,
wish that they would have gotten the same actress, but then I looked up the original actress and I guess that she retired. She does the voice in the animated one in Dark Fury, and I think
yeah,
that's it. She's now just like a regular person.
yeah.
She's not involved in Hollywood or anything. So maybe they asked her and she said no, and then they had to recast. But I think that she is
Um,
so far off from what Jack looked like. What do you think?
well, well, she's supposed to be playing like an older version of her as well, but I will say like she doesn't have the like I don't know how do I explain this? It's kind of like in the first movie, like she almost like worshipped Riddick. You know, she like Riddick was her everything at that point. You know, in this movie, she kind of like you know like in my opinion, if he would have showed up, I don't think she would have been so bitter against him. The regular character would have been like, "Oh my God, you're here! What are we going to get out of here?" You know what I mean? So, but this one, I'm guessing because he left her on the planet and like left her go there and just kind of went and did his own thing.
Yeah,
I
that's what
guess
Keith
to
David
protect
said.
her. So I don't know.
Yeah, you said that Keith David said that she never forgave him for leaving because it says here for her name. Let's say Jack Cara, the other survivor saved by Riddick in Pitch Black. She sets out to find Riddick and gets sold into slavery before being sent to prison for murder. She changes her name to Cara to signify that she's no longer an innocent girl.
Okay. So basically,
I
this is her basically becoming like Riddick almost, like turning full circle.
But then shouldn't she? Well, I guess maybe to go because she's not happy with him. She's upset. I was gonna say if she was still gonna be Riddick, she should be bald. But she's bald in the first movie. But that's because she's part of kind of like that Muslim group that was on there, and now she's grown her hair to maybe show that, yeah, that she's not that little girl anymore. Now she's
Yeah.
this
Maybe,
woman.
maybe maybe it's like her way of saying, hey, Riddick abandoned me. I'm just going to be my own person now. So she's basically like almost like using, like, becoming Riddick in her own way. Maybe
Yeah.
that's
And
what I
what's
was
nice
trying
is
to.
through all of these things, almost all of them, but I mean definitely the movies, is that it's the same writer director. So
Yeah.
there is this continuity. There's not this. It's not all messed up like the Disney sequels, with different writers, different directors. Nobody knows what they're doing. There does seem to be a plan, and even if the films are years apart, being made, they still try to make them work.
Yeah.
And so it's so let me see. So then we have on here. Uh,
And
I
I will
think
say one thing. That's what I appreciate about them making the little short, like, the motion comics or the, like, animated shorts, because there is a big gap between Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick.
yeah,
So a lot has happened. If you were just watching both of them, like, one after the other, I think we would all be confused. Like, wait a minute, what happened here? Like, they kind of tell you a little bit, but then it's like some of it needs to be shown too.
well,
So
yeah,
that's
and
what I
that's why
appreciate.
it's nice that it's in these because it is
Yeah.
canon. So you
Hmm.
kind of do have to watch, Pitch Black, then Dark Fury, then Chronicles of Riddick,
Yeah.
for it to make sense. And kind of doing these a little out of order here, but that's okay. I was trying to do some sort of because I'm a little anal with this stuff, but oh well. So here's that's a picture of Riddick from Chronicles. So
Hmm.
still looks the same, bald head. He's got the glasses. He just
A little more
he's
bulkier.
yeah. So it's but at least that he's still keeping that Vin Diesel is still keeping that look.
Yeah.
I was actually a little confused when I was looking at pictures, and I would even type in like Chronicles of Riddick, like Vin Diesel pictures or something. It would
Hmm.
still bring up, Pitch Black, Riddick. It would still bring up a whole bunch of different stuff, and I'm just like, crap, what is this from? So I found this one because down at the bottom it did say, Chronicles of Riddick. So I'm like, okay, so I know this is from there.
Hmm.
But yeah, so he is keeping that consistency in the character's look, which I like. Like
Yeah.
he's not going like he's not worrying. It's not like Spider-Man, let's say, with all the different movies where the costume is always a little different.
Hmm.
This is that he's considering it. It's supposed to kind of be this continuation that
Yeah.
I guess he wouldn't have a wardrobe. He would wear the clothes that he wears, and then he would, find clothes maybe on a dead body and put that on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So then this had also they're an unrated director's cut. So Chronicles of Riddick, which, like I said, I think it's a lot better. Do you remember the theatrical one compared to this one? Kind of
I
like Pitch
I don't
Black.
think I've ever seen the theatrical cut, to be honest with you, but I did look it up. From what I understand, a lot of it's a lot of extra, like, stuff, because this was censored to do a PG-13. So the theatrical cut was PG-13, but this one was, I guess, 15 minutes was cut out so that they can basically blur the lines of PG-13. So the unrated cut would have been rated R, like all the other ones. Was the other one rated R? Yeah,
I don't
like
even get why they would do the PG-13 because they're not humans. I mean, it's not really
I
red
don't
blood.
know. I mean, I'm assuming they wanted. I guess it feels more like a teenager would be able to watch this version. From what I looked up, the only thing they really removed was some gore and, like, some violence. That's really the only things they removed. So this one, if for that case, I would just say leave in the just watch the director's cut. Don't even bother with the PG-13 because it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Right, and I do like having both versions, but I would never watch the theatrical one again. There just
No.
there's no, there would be no reason to do that. So
Yeah.
so then after Riddick, so I think that's all I got on that one there. We do have then, or Chronicles of Riddick, and there's really no monster in that one either. It's just people or the sun. The sun is definitely, when they go to crematorium. See, I
Yeah.
like this. I like these worlds. Crematorium, which is just a planet where the sun just destroys everything. It's
Yeah.
so hot, and so
And
I
then
like those.
and then when it gets dark, it goes like I think he said it's like 400 degrees like Fahrenheit when the sun is out. So it basically will disintegrate you. Or I forget how hot it was. It was like real high. Like basically, you stand it, it basically burns you to a crisp. But then
Yeah,
when it gets dark, it's like 200 degrees below zero or something.
yeah. We never. So we don't. We only really see the effects of the sun, and we do see one of the guys who is one of the necromongers, and that he just takes off his jewelry and his helmet and puts it
Yeah,
down and just kind of walks out, and he's I'm a failure
disintegrates.
type of thing, or lost faith in this, and he just kind of disintegrates as the sun is just ripping him apart like the wind from the sun. So,
From
which I
what I
thought was pretty
understand,
cool.
he was a Furion also.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so
Yeah,
so he was kind of like telling Riddick like, "Hey, I don't blame you if you run away, but part of me hopes you will, do the right thing." And then like basically like he feels like his like because he's already told him, you know, too much. If he goes back, he's basically gonna get, like probably in prison for the rest of his life or something. So he figured he might as well just take all his jewelry off and just go, you know, accept death at that point.
right. Yeah. So I don't think, right, I don't think they did anything for in between Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick, because Riddick does
The blind side.
explain what happens.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
blind.
Blindsided.
They
Yeah,
got
because
the
there's
blindsided.
the little short, or kind of like a computer short, where we
Hmm.
learn how he gets the eyes, and then
Yeah,
Blindsided. Yeah, which is in Riddick. They just seem to expand it.
yeah.
So here's, there we got Riddick. I like that poster too.
Yeah.
This is all. I'll be honest. This is my favorite one. I love Riddick. I think it's
Okay.
really good.
Okay.
So it's but we
I
could do
like
a.
how it kind of goes back to the Pitch Black formula, but it does it a little. How do I say this? It does it a little bit more. Um, it doesn't do the exact same thing, but it has like it goes back to like the Pitch Black formula a little bit.
Yeah, I mean there are similarities. Like in this, he does find the camp, like the research camp, I guess, and then instead of there being night monsters, there's rain monsters, like water monsters, which I thought was pretty good. And then John's dad is here because he's trying to find out really what happened to his son. And, Cole Hauser. We also get Katie Sackhoff, I think is how you say your last name,
Yeah.
who I think is gorgeous in this. And I was surprised that she did nudity, because I think this is after Battlestar Galactica, right? But before
Might be.
Mandalorian that destroyed her career. So I just read an article about that, about how
Wow.
Mandalorian destroyed her career, and it was just like, oh, okay. I don't know if that did or not, but that's what the article claims. I like the two sets of kind of like bounty hunters that show up.
Yeah.
I thought that that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else do I have here? I have. Let me see if I can find.
I also looked up the names of the monsters in Riddick. They're called mud demons.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Which, again, I'm not sure if they actually mention it in the movie or not. I don't know if they actually call them that. You just,
No, I don't think so.
so I'm thinking it's just something like, hey, maybe the director called, like, said what they were called later on. If maybe they were doing an interview and they said, yes, these are called mud demons, or this one's called bioraptors, or something. I don't know. Or Vin Diesel may have gave them the names. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the. So that's what they look like there.
Yeah, they're pretty cool,
And
and I'm not gonna lie.
well, they are, and they kind of have the same type of tails as the night ones do in Pitch Black. So this world, these things kind of are the same. You know that there are similarities in you know in how they look, and I like that he had to get through that kind of pond type of thing to
Yeah,
get to the stairs, and how he thinks it's just like a tail, or maybe not even at first that it's a tail, then he realizes it's something bigger, and
yeah,
then he kills that, and then its mother pops up, which is huge, and then he has to fight that, which he was completely unprepared for. And but it can't leave like this kind of pond thing until the rain shows up, and then like
I'm
a
assuming. I'm
billion
assuming
of
that
them.
its skin can't be dry. Maybe if it dries out, it'll die. So it has to be continuing having like absorbing water into its system to survive. Maybe that's why I'm
Yeah,
thinking maybe when the endless rain comes, they're able to actually go out and venture and wander the planet and stuff.
yeah, and even though one could maybe say like, oh, they're just ripping off the first movie, I don't think so. I think each planet would have its own creature,
Hmm.
and you know they in the first one they just happened to end up on a planet where there's night creatures, and on this one, which he thought was Riddick thought was his home, and then realized that he got double crossed.
Yeah,
That now he's on this planet where these things come out when it rains. It is funny that they just everybody just happens to be on these planets when it happens. It's like, oh, we're on the exact day that the night monsters would come out. Oh, we're on the exact day that the rain monsters would come out. So, but it's so with this.
Here's the question: how long was he on the planet? Because he knew exactly what they were. So my question is: was he there that long that he knew when they were coming out?
Mike,
Was he there for like a couple of years or something, and maybe every year around the same time the rain comes and they come out, and he had to defend himself or something?
I'm going to, unless it's that thing where like it only rains every 22 years or something, but he does have his doggy.
I like that.
So
That was good
yeah, I like it.
because when you first see him, he's a puppy. So unless they grow like within like a couple months to that size, which some dogs do grow pretty fast, so that is possible. So
I think he's been here for a long time,
at
and
least a year, if anything.
yeah, because we see the dog that gets, it's a wild dog that wants to kill him. He domesticates the dog. They become friends. But in this scene here is we see him like dragging supplies or whatever, and we see the dog behind him, and it looks like it's going to attack him, but it just jumps in front of him and wants to play. So
Yeah.
now the dog is completely domesticated, and like they're friends, and
Mhm.
the dog has a personality, that like it
Well,
gets mad at
no,
him.
no, he captures that one as a puppy.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is the dog
Yeah,
grown up.
yeah,
Yeah. So
That's for sure. He
now it's like his buddy. Now it's like his dog. It's no longer this wild
no, yeah,
dog anymore. So they're friends. Which I was so hoping the guy died when he killed the dog. I mean, what are you gonna do? I
yeah,
mean, if the dog is ripping your body apart, but I was very bummed about that. And as we have learned
yeah.
from John Wick, you never kill a
You
man's
do
dog.
not kill a man's dog. That
No.
is like the ultimate sin. You can kill his
Yeah.
family, you can kill his wife, you can do all that stuff. But if you kill the dog, it's game on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, and I found I like this picture. I found a better one with him with the dog. It's a shot from the film, but it's a good picture here. So let's see. It's right. Nope, that's not it. It's this one. Because this is when they find that that compound.
Yeah,
So, and I just think that's a good shot with the sun and everything behind him. So, and
yeah,
the dog kind of reminded me of even though this came out before, kind of like Crypto from Superman, the new
okay.
Superman movie. That the
There you
dog
go.
is kind of hopping all around. It's having a good time. You know, it has its own personality. So that I enjoyed. So
Yeah,
I like that. See, and this even has, even though it does kind of harken back to the first film, it still has enough difference in it. Like we get the dog, which we didn't have before. It does have a different creature.
yeah,
We get the two sets of bounty hunters. They have motorcycles, like flying motorcycles, which we have not seen
yeah,
before in any of the movies.
yeah,
And you completely believe it. You completely believe that this is the third film and these things exist. We didn't
yeah.
need to see them in the other movies because these are
Plus,
for these bounty hunters.
yeah. Plus, the thing I like is that it does connect the events of the second movie to the third movie. Now they kind of drop you off in, but then he's also kind of like, hey, you're probably wondering how I got here, so let me explain it to you. So he goes back and explains how he almost got assassinated and how the one person promised him they would take him to Jura, which is the planet that he's from, or originally was from, or not sure how that
Yeah, he
or he,
has. Yeah, they have like he says he's from there, but I think when they bring up this might be in Chronicles that, and maybe they do it in here too. It's like birth date unknown, planet
yeah,
unknown. You know that whole thing. Everything is unknown,
mhm,
and he can't find his home planet. He doesn't know
yeah,
where it is, so he
yeah,
he becomes the Lord King God of the
yeah,
Necromongers when it really should have been Carl Urban. And they
yeah,
betray him, which we see in this, and it's also in
yeah,
Blindsided, that um, he almost has that Conan throne. And I
mhm,
think it's, as I have it here, I did find a picture of him. I think it's from this one. I think it's from Riddick. I don't think this is from Chronicles because he's just kind of slouching in the chair because because he just had the fight and the woman dies and he gets up into the chair and
yeah,
so I think this is from so I think that's
yes.
yeah from Riddick so that's
That's
him.
that's actually that's the scene they show you when he was when they started crowning him. They started putting the armor on him. Like taking, I guess they took the armor off the dead guy of the one before him, and they started putting that on him. So, but the crown piece is different this time.
Yeah, and I completely buy into because as I'm sure when they were, writing Riddick, they're like, well, crap, what do we do? I mean, the guy's like the king. How do we get rid of this? Well,
You
once
got
again,
to
it
make him not
goes,
king no more.
yeah, and once again, it all goes back to Shakespeare and Julius Caesar and all of this of being betrayed, and I don't even think that he wants this position. It's just, but he has to take it because what is it? What you kill, you keep,
What
and
you kill is what you keep, or something like that.
yeah, and so now everybody knows that Carl Urban should be the leader, And so they
Mhm.
betray him. They're like, "Oh yeah, we know where your planet is. It's over there." And they take him, and then they like Carl Urban's, I
Basically
guess,
dead.
kind of main guy fucks him over on the planet because
Yeah.
Riddick realizes like, I don't think this is the right planet, and
Yeah.
they think that they kill him, and he's all beat up and broken bones,
Yeah.
and then so he's been on that planet for a long time to even have his wounds heal.
I
So
will. I will say the first opening scene, I had to. It actually had me busting out laughing because that part where that bird, the creature thing, comes over, he starts like clicking at his hands,
oh
and all of
yeah,
a sudden he goes, it's like ah! That
yeah.
was hilarious. I don't know why that was so funny, but it was so funny.
Well, I think it's funny too because the bird's like, oh, food, and it goes down, it starts picking at him, and then he grabs its neck, breaks its neck. So it's kind of the survival of the fittest in a way that oh well, this little bird's going to get food. No, now Riddick has food because he
Yeah,
probably ate it, and
probably.
so that's. I just think, yeah, I love Riddick. The movie Riddick. I just think is
It was good.
so.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I can watch that pretty much any day of the week,
Mhm.
and so this is the one that I have. So this is the video for this, the unrated
Yeah.
director's cut. One hell of a thrill ride. I would agree with that. So I think that is.
I think the artwork that I have is from the new Riddick movie because you kind of see
Let
the
me see here.
scorpions in the background.
Let me remove this. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's definitely artwork from the. It's different artwork from. I'm not sure. What is your slipcover the same as the underneath?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah, it would
oh,
have been nice if they would
I
have.
like this one.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
this is exactly
that's
the
what I
same.
hate about slipcovers. I mean, I love slipcovers. Don't get me wrong, but I really think that people get lazy and they just put the same artwork underneath. That's
Yeah,
why I
because
like a lot of like Scream Factory, where they just go and go, "Hey, we have the slipcover, but we got a reversible artwork for the bottom. You can have different artwork when you pull the sleeve off."
yeah, that is nice. And at least with
So,
this one, it is slightly different. It's a different color.
okay,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
it's
definitely different.
yeah.
Even even
This is closer. This one is further away.
even that is I would accept. You know what I mean? Like that's okay. It's the same picture, but like you said, the first one's like up zoomed in, and the next one's like the one underneath is like further away. You're actually seeing a little more of the background and stuff. I got no problem with that. But when it's the same artwork, exact same artwork, it's like could I have done something a little different. Maybe make a different color or something. I don't know.
Right.
Us collectors' problems.
I know we get picky. So we
We
did.
do.
So we got Chronicles of Riddick, Dark Fury. Then he did The Pacifier, Find Me Guilty, which I think was meant to be like his Academy Award movie. Tokyo Drift. He was a producer on Hitman. Babylon AD was okay. Then Fast and Furious. Then he did a short film for Fast and Furious. Fast 5, Fast 6. Then The Blindsided short came out. Then
Mhm.
Riddick. And Riddick was um, okay. Well, I mean, this all right. So the budget for Riddick was 38 million, but
Okay.
the box office was 98.3.
So it definitely tripled its value, or almost tripled.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it says here. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I saw this for my birthday. This was September 6th. 2013, critics considered it a return to form for the series, and it became a moderate box office success compared to its predecessor.
Okay.
So that means then we are in. So that takes care of. I mean, I guess I could do this one because we're still talking about the movies. I did grab this just to have a poster for it, even though this is obviously AI. But So, Riddick 4.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to have a poster up for it.
Which has
So,
been announced. It's just we haven't really heard anything in almost about 2 years. I think 23 they announced they was in production,
yeah,
and then
it is. Okay,
we were hearing
so
it was supposed to come out this year, but then I don't think that's going to happen.
no, because it says it's in an upcoming science fiction action film. Same writer director.
Hmm.
It's the fourth installment. Stars Vin Diesel. So, premise says Riddick finally returns to his homeworld, a place he barely remembers, and one he fears might be left in ruins by the necromongers. But there he finds other Fyrians fighting for their existence against a new enemy. And some of these Fyrians are more like Riddick than he could have ever imagined.
Okay.
So,
Huh?
which is interesting because I think Blindsided shows that in the prison there are the guys with the eyes, and
That's
so
that's the little short video you sent me. That's
yeah,
not Blindsided.
it's so I
It's
don't know
called
exactly.
Slam City or something like that.
Yeah, because it's these are his eyes. So that's after he got the surgery. So he was so deep inside, like down in a prison, that it was mostly dark. So he had the
Yeah.
surgery so he could see in the dark, which of course helped in the
Yeah.
first movie. And but that's yeah. So for because I've only shown him with a picture of his just with him with the goggles on. But
Yeah, that's short. You were saying it's called Riddick Slam City. I guess it was like a motion, like a Flash comic or something
yeah.
at
So
one
if we
point.
go into so first would be Dark Fury, and that's included in both of our collections. Um, so that's this,
Yeah.
and this was a thing for a little bit where they were making these kind of like 30-minute animated shorts.
Yeah.
I would like to look up to see how many of these were made because I wouldn't mind owning them now. But I remember that they did them for a few films. I just don't remember which ones.
Didn't they do it for Animatrix or something? The Animatrix or something.
Yeah, the Animatrix.
Was it
Yeah,
the
with
same? Was it the same people or was it different?
no, it was a bunch of different directors and animators, and
Okay.
they some of the stories were because it's a collection, so
Okay.
like an anthology. Some of them take place before the Matrix, some of them take place after.
Okay.
Some of them take place with different people.
Okay.
So it is kind of that you could watch, I guess, all three. I think it came out after the first film, so you could watch Matrix and then watch Animatrix and then get something out of it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I guess yeah,
Alright.
kind of the same thing like this because this takes place between Pitch
Pitch Black
Black
and
and
Chronicles, right?
Chronicles,
Yeah.
and I got a couple shots here because I really liked the animation in this. I think
Yeah.
this is one of those things where they filmed the actors doing things and then they animated it because they move very loosely. So that's Riddick there. He's attacking somebody. The guy there, he's kind of like the second baddie. He's kind of like the henchman of the woman that was
Yeah.
actually on the cover of the
Mhm.
movie. So what do you think about the art? What do you think about the animation in this? Did you like it?
The art is good. I can appreciate art. I mean, as someone that watches anime and stuff, I've seen some pretty rough animation. So this one, I like how it was more like structured. Like each shot, you can tell there wasn't like some, you know, they didn't make like a goofy face or anything like that. They did. You can tell like they didn't like skimp out on the artwork. You can tell it was definitely like every frame was done with care. So I will give it the credit where credit is due. And as for the story, I mean, it was the story was great. I enjoyed the story. Um, can't say I caught like who the lady was. I mean, that's the only thing I was kind of confused on. Like, was she like a collector of like bad guys or something? Or?
Yeah, I guess that she gets these people and then she kind of does like a house of wax type of thing on them. So because he goes up and Riddick touches one of the tongues and it moves.
Okay.
So I guess
Yeah,
yeah, that's
because
what she.
that's where I wasn't sure. Because at first I thought she like did almost like um kind of like what Jabba the Hutt did with Han Solo. I thought it was kind of like one of those things. But
Oh,
then now
like a
you're mentioning
carbonite
tongues, like
type of.
yeah, so now you're using the tongue, so it's like they are still who they are, but they're not. They're alive, but they're not able to move. I guess.
Yeah, so she would kind of like this picture here. This is how she would put Riddick. Like she would freeze
Okay.
him or however, yeah, carbonite freeze or however she's doing it is that was her thing, was she wanted to find like the best pose,
Yeah,
and then that's how the person would be. So like maybe for Riddick it would be this type of
something like that. Yeah.
action. Yeah. So and this one also does have in it because since it takes place between two films, we
Yeah.
do get. I just went right past it, I think. Here we go. So we do get the Keith David, and then there's Jack.
Yeah.
See, and now she has hair, so now everybody knows that she's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have the original, and it's also Keith David doing this voice too.
Yeah.
I just wish that they would have used her again. I mean, I guess getting another actress is fine, but I don't know.
I mean, you gotta work with what you gotta work with, I guess. So, I mean, if she was like done acting at that point, I mean, what can you do? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. There's not much that you can do. I want to show because I forgot these, and I like these pictures. So these would have been from Riddick, but let's. I just want to show because I mentioned Katie Sackhoff that I was going to bring her up with this picture to show her.
okay, yeah,
So I forgot to put that one up. That's near the end,
yeah.
where all of a sudden this guy who just talks about fucking her, all of a
Now all of a
sudden
sudden
she's
she's like, hey, I want some of that guy.
yeah, and she even says at the beginning of the movie when we first meet her that she doesn't fuck guys. So you're getting okay, maybe she might be gay, but I don't know, maybe she's bi. So maybe
Even
she'll
even the one dude even calls her a lesbo at one point.
yeah.
He's like,
So
I'm not gonna listen to your lesbo over here, and then she punches him in the face. I'm like, you get what you deserve, dude. You got what you
I
deserve.
so if this was done today, she would be a girl boss and nobody would like her. Back then, 2013, I thought she was awesome. I love chicks who kick ass. And she looked great, and it was a little weird that they did have her do nudity, but I'm not going to complain about it because I think that she's really hot in this. But yeah, so and then I found this one. I thought this was funny. And then we can move on to the shorts. But oh, this picture here. I thought that was funny.
There you
Showing
go.
that she, probably had like a good time on the film and everything. Plus, look how long her hair is compared to what it was. It was not even shoulder length in the movie, and now it's like
Maybe
really
this was a
long.
couple years later or something. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, plus who knows how long it took to get Riddick out? So maybe this is even before she might have, and she cut her hair.
it's possible.
Yeah. So, but it's Yeah, so now we have with this, so now we could, now there is only technically one short film, and that is, oh, we already looked at that. So that was Dark Fury. Then there's the video games.
You're
So
not. We're not talking about Into Pitch Black
that's at the very end,
at the very end.
at the end of my list.
Oh, okay,
I'm going off of how Wikipedia is doing it, so I can keep
okay,
stuff somewhat in track. So we
okay.
need, which one do we need here? We need Escape from Butcher Bay is the first
Yes,
one.
that
So now I have never played any of the games.
I have not played these games either. I didn't even know these were games. They had games. I was just curious. So I was like, did they ever make any Riddick video games? And I looked it up, and this was the first one that came out. This was on the original Xbox. I guess it was an Xbox exclusive. So for those of you that like playing PS2, I'm sorry. The Riddick people don't like you guys. So,
And I think these
so
do have something with the movies, don't they? Or at least this one
the
does?
from what I understand, this is a prequel to the first movie. So this
Okay.
happened. I guess. I guess this has maybe something to do with the prison that he
Y-
was escaping from.
Yeah, it says here, yeah, Escape from Butcher Bay, a video game based on the Riddick series, released for Xbox and Windows PC. It acts as a prequel to Pitch Black and involves Riddick escaping from the prison Butcher Bay. It was well received and is often listed among the greatest video games. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
there you go. So
Okay.
they did this, and for those some that may not want to go back and get an Xbox, they actually re-released this on the second video game that they had. Um, so I'll
So
talk
which
about that one.
is, and that one is
Something.
the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena,
Yes.
which is, I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So it's this one.
So from what I understand, this was both released on PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Now, the nice thing about, I guess, because the game was so short, I actually watched a gameplay of someone playing this game, and it was only like 4 hours long. So, in order to get, I guess, make people, I guess, when it first came out, you know, make the $60 price tag, they actually did an HD remaster of Escape from Butcher's Bay. So, this includes both of the games. So, if you're going to get any of them, this would be the one to grab.
Okay. So
For
then to
those of
go a
you that,
little further with that then. So Butcher Bay was 2004. This is
yes,
2009 and it says Assault on Dark Athena is a video game for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Windows and Mac OS X computers. It includes an enhanced remake of Escape
yes,
from Butcher Bay and covers the events between the previous game and Pitch Black. So you would go Butcher Bay, Dark Athena, then Pitch Black.
yes,
Reviews
I'm
were
assuming.
mostly positive.
Okay.
So, but there is a third game.
There is?
Yeah. So,
I did not know this. Okay. These are the
and
only two I've seen.
so that is, I think it's down here. Where are you? There it is. Riddick Mech Files or Merc Files.
Okay.
And that's 2013 and it says
Okay.
Riddick the Merc Files is a touch-based stealth action game for Android and ISO devices. It
Okay.
was developed by Gaming Corps a game developer founded by some of the original developers of the previous Riddick games.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like it's connected though.
Okay, so maybe it's just its own thing, maybe.
Yeah, because it sounds like the last two games are canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but this one maybe isn't. Yeah, it's just like you said, it's just its own thing.
Okay.
And it does have that very kind of anime type look to it.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of
There you
like
go.
Dark Fury.
All right. So, I mean, if for those of you Android people that want to play a Riddick game and you don't care about the canon or anything, go ahead and download this. If you can still download it or not, I don't know. Look into it. Or surf the seven seas. Shh, don't tell nobody.
I matey. Then after that, so then there's television.
Oh, boy.
Into Pitch Black, 2000. Okay. I do have a couple things from this, but not much. So I completely forgot that this even existed until you sent me a message going, hey, into Pitch Black. And I went, oh, fuck, no. Am I going to have to watch this again? Because I don't know how I saw this originally. I saw this when it came out. Somebody said, oh, you need to see, if you like, the, I keep wanting, Pitch Black. I keep wanting to say the musical by mistake. You should watch this, but it doesn't make exact sense to the series, because if this is 2000, so it's in between, so it would either be a prequel to Pitch Black, which was 2000, or it's once again in between Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick, which is 2004.
Apparently, from when I watched it, it says it's like 19 weeks after the events of Pitch Black.
That's right, yeah.
So I'm assuming it's like maybe right around the same time as Dark Fury, maybe. Like maybe these two are happening around the same time, or maybe after Pitch Black, or not Pitch Black, Dark Fury.
When I saw this, I turned it off. Originally, I turned it off. I could not make it through it. I watched it again because it's from what I've read, the only way of seeing it is on YouTube. And so I said, okay, fine. And the copy wasn't horrible, but I guess from the time period that it was made, and I turned it off again. It was giving me a headache. It was 43 minutes. I made it through 20 minutes, and I just gave up. I'm just like, this makes no sense. I'm confused as hell. No, and it's like they're just showing.
Oh man, John, you made me suffer 43 minutes through this.
I'm sorry, man. I tried it twice. I tried it twice years ago, and I've tried it, now, and no, I can't do it. When they were just showing random, for no reason, footage from Pitch Black, and it just makes no sense to me. So, like, what does this say? Okay, into Pitch Black 2000. Oh god, it was from the sci-fi. How could the sci-fi? Okay,
that's what I was gonna say. It was a sci-fi channel. My biggest question. Oh, I'll let you read first. Hold on, then I'll make my comment.
Okay, so Into Pitch Black is a sci-fi, formerly the Sci-Fi Channel special, which takes place before and after the events of Pitch Black. It mixes clips from Pitch Black into sequences focusing on a psychiatrist who studied Riddick in prison, the doctor who gave him his eyeshine ability, and a lawman hiring a female mercenary to track Riddick months after Pitch Black. It shows several inconsistencies with the official storyline of the later sequels and video games. This is considered to be non-canon.
Yeah. Here's my question. Usually when they do something like this on the Sci-Fi Channel, usually it's to like say, hey, this new movie's coming out. It's called Pitch Black. It has Vin Diesel in it. You know, usually something like this is to like, hey, go see Pitch Black. But from what I'm understanding, this was done after Pitch Black came out, or maybe it was in theaters at the time, or so. Why does
Yeah,
this exist?
it
And go ahead.
go on. Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and why was it 40-something minutes? I think it would have been a whole lot better if they would have just made this like a 15, 20-minute short film. It did not need to be 43 minutes, because like 20 minutes of it, I swear, was just like clips from the first movie.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
And what I think they should have done was maybe have like the interviews with the doctor like as a special feature on Pitch Black, the DVD or something, or do like a science fiction thing and just say the Sci-Fi Channel just have, you know, an interview playing one day and then says see Pitch Black in theaters, or have an interview with the doctor giving him the shine, go see Pitch Black in theaters, and then the one girl, the one dude that was trying to hire the girl to go get him or something, maybe play that like a couple months after Riddick is already in theaters and playing for a couple of weeks or something.
Well, I don't. I forgot to do a one of the pictures for this, so I have to.
It's not worth it. Plus, funny thing is,
none
of these. I don't know if yours have it, but this short film was not on the collection.
And there is good reason for that. This is, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't even know why I'm going through this. I had this in here and I had to convert it because a StreamYard only plays certain types of files. So this is the beginning credit to it. This is literally one of the worst things I have ever seen. This is awful. I don't know what they were thinking. And so I'm sorry, but I'm glad that you watched it all, so then you can go beyond what I have to say. And it literally, and I'm not kidding, and I don't use the word literally a lot, gave me a headache. And I think that's why I turned it off years ago when I saw it, because I didn't understand what was going on. It was just obnoxious. But the thing with, okay, so the reason why it's 43 minutes is for commercials. That's why.
Yeah.
And then the Sci-Fi Channel. So back in the day, really far back in the day, you had to pay for Sci-Fi Channel. I never had Sci-Fi Channel. Now, now it's, it's a completely different thing. But this was one of those things where Sci-Fi Channel was like, if you had your normal channels at like 50, 55, 60. This was like 5,000. It was like way up there. Barely anybody knew it. Barely anybody, watched it. They didn't want to pay for it. When the second Blair Witch movie came out, Book of Shadows, everybody hated that movie. Because it wasn't found footage. It wasn't like but what people didn't know, and now you can find this, I think, on YouTube, is the Book of Shadows is actually a docudrama based off of real events, and there's a documentary called Book of Shadows. It's a fake documentary that was on Sci-Fi Channel, where we meet the original people, and then they interview the actors who play them in the movie. And the real actor or the real character wrote a script called Book of Shadows that he was trying to get made. So that's why Blair Witch 2 is the way that it is, that it's just a regular movie because it's like a docudrama. But if you watch the documentary, it makes sense. And I think this is that same type of thing. Is you were supposed to watch this, like you said, either before or after Pitch Black came out, to understand more about Riddick and what was going on. But nobody at the time probably had Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
And so nobody saw it. I really don't know how I watched it. It might have been on YouTube way back in the day, like when YouTube was very primitive. But I just remember somebody telling me you need to see it. I might have even watched a bootleg, like, you know, maybe somebody had it on VHS, and I watched it and turned it off. But it to me, I mean, the description I think sounds, I mean, pretty good. It mixes so a psychiatrist who studied Riddick in the prison, that sounds interesting. The doctor who gave him his, you know, that eye shine ability. Well, we now know the name of his eyes. The lawman, you know, a lawman who hires a female mercenary. I mean, it sounds like it could be pretty cool. But
yeah, I mean, it definitely gave you like some answers. I mean, that you really didn't get in the movies. So, I mean, I don't recommend it. I mean, yeah, I'm the person that I'm gonna make a bootleg DVD copy just so I can have this on my shelf. Just because, why not? Because I'm a weirdo like that.
I hear you. I hear you.
But I don't recommend you watch it. It's if it's considered non-canon, it's probably for good reason.
It is.
I mean,
it is awful. It is truly awful.
I'm going to say something very controversial, and I might get in trouble for this. I think Dustin Ferguson can make a better movie than this.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh. Well, what would be close to this for him probably would be Nemesis 5, which I actually liked. I actually thought Nemesis 5 wasn't bad.
So, I mean, like,
maybe.
So there you go. So, Dustin, if you're watching this, I gave you a compliment. I did not make fun of you. I gave you a compliment. There you go. That's all I'm to say about that matter.
Okay, and I gave him one too. So there you go. So that's okay. So yeah, this is the only thing that's listed for television. I mean, there's like the future. It's you know, David Thorney. I'm not really sure how to say his last name. You know, announced that he was writing a story. That he was writing the story based for Sci-Fi Channel. Film a pilot episode for so he was going to write a proposed television series based on Kira. That was 2004. And then in December 2015, Diesel announced on his Instagram account that he and I really don't know how to pronounce his last name, developed a TV developed a TV series entitled Merc City that will follow mercs and bounty hunters of the Riddick franchise. Okay. So that's the only stuff listed for television, and none of this has come to pass. And then there's some novels. There's like novelizations of Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. And then, so like in between this stuff, I mean, he did like Guardians of the Galaxy, Furious 7, The Last Witch Hunter, Triple X 2, Fate of the Furious, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Avengers Infinity War, because he's Groot. Ralph Breaks the Internet. He's Groot in that. Avengers Endgame. He did a comic book movie that I love called Bloodshot. F9.
That was good. I like that one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I don't know why everyone hated it so bad. I thought he did a great job in that.
Yeah, I liked it. F9, Thor, oh God, Thor: Love and Thunder, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Fast X, and then the new Riddick movie, Riddick 4, which is to be announced. But
Yeah.
then there's other. So with that, then there's the motion comics. And the
Yeah.
first one on that is Slam City.
Yes.
So let's take a look at Slam City. You know, some of this stuff was not easy to find. Like, I thought it would take me like 5 minutes to pull up a bunch of this stuff.
Hmm.
And it did not.
No, I was looking at the Slam City thing here. I was wondering, like, was this like a special feature on like maybe the Pitch Black? But evidently not. I mean, I didn't really look at my Blu-ray copy. I was gonna go in and look and see if it was available on here or not. But because Blindsided was available, which we'll talk about later, was available on the disc of Riddick. So I watched it on here. I didn't watch the link you sent me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I watched Slam City and Blindsided on YouTube. And it says here for Slam City, which is 2000, Pitch Black, Slam City is a short motion comic prequel
Yeah.
to Pitch Black by animator Brian Murray and with David, however you pronounce his last name, the director,
Yeah.
which had been available for download at the Pitch Black website. Slam City is in the form of an official confidential prison record detailing Riddick's arrival and escape from the Ursa Luna Slam City facility in 11 hours and 22 minutes. Notably, it shows Riddick undergoing the surgery that gives him eye shine, the
Hmm.
ability to see in the dark, and paying for this with a pack of cool cigarettes. As mentioned in Pitch Black, William J. Johns, who was Cole Hauser, at the end of the
Yeah.
film being charged with capturing Riddick.
Yeah.
So, but we learned in this that he's just not the only guy that has that ability. Because
Yeah.
we see in the motion picture there's at least two guys like behind him with the glowing eyes.
Okay. Well, then this kind of makes a little bit of a contradiction in the story then, because if you remember in Chronicles of Riddick, remember the guy that went out and like caught himself on fire when he was the one that was the of Fury or whatever his name is, the
Oh yeah.
Furion. You remember him saying like he remembers getting close to someone, and he said, and he had eyes just like you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of implicating that all the Furions have eyes that can see in the dark. But this comic's kind of like saying, oh, well, you had to get like a special surgery in order to get it. So
That's what I would think, is that not all Furians have it. Is that it is a yeah, that he had surgery. Well, that's what we learned, is that because he was so far down in the prison that it was dark, so he
yeah.
got the
Mhm.
the surgery to get the eyes this way. I wouldn't think that other people had these eyes. I would think that
Yeah.
he would be the only one, because that kind of makes him unique. You know, like
Yeah.
somebody may not even know who he is, but they see the eyes, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's that Riddick guy." But according to Slam City, yeah, it we find out that there's more people in that prison that has it. That it's not even his idea. You know, he
So
gets it from other
maybe
people.
so maybe some of the Furions that these other guys ran into were in that prison or know somebody that knew how to do the surgery and they got the surgery done.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I don't know.
I think so.
I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, because then after that is then Blindsided comes,
Yeah.
and I kind of like this picture for Blindsided. It's
There you
even
go.
called Riddick, Blindsided. I think originally it was just Blindsided, and probably with the popularity, they just put Riddick on there. But
No, no, it's called Riddick Blindsided because that's
oh
how
yeah,
it's on
yeah,
the
it
special.
is. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Riddick Blindsided, 2013.
Yeah.
So Riddick Blindsided is a motion comic based on storyboarded scenes of
Hmm.
the third film that didn't make the theatrical cut. Because it is longer, because he fights like that big guy. There's like a big kind of like
Yeah.
samurai guy.
Hmm.
It takes place shortly before the events of Riddick and bridges that film with the previous one. The director's cut of Riddick reinserts most of the material covered in Blindside back into the film. It was released online a month before the release of the third film to generate buzz, and it is also included with the movie's home video release. So that's when you saw it.
Yeah. Which may even be encoded on your copy as well.
Yeah, I just didn't look. I just went straight to YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't look at the special features or anything. So yeah, it could be there, which would be
Yeah.
nice because it would be a better copy than what they have on YouTube. So
Yeah. Well,
what did
my
you think
biggest
of it?
thing was that the for some reason when I was trying to do the subtitles on the YouTube version, it was only giving it to me in Spanish. Don't ask me why. So when I've
Oh,
seen that this one had the subtitles on it and it was available on here, I was able to watch this with subtitles. So I got my English subtitles.
okay. Yeah, sometimes they're weird about that, and
Yeah.
so let's okay. So I have two things that I can show here. So let's get out of this. So the okay, so Slam City, just to give people an idea of. No, that's Blindsided. Okay, I think this is Slam City. So this is how Slam City looks. So it is. It's kind of like paneled, like a comic book.
It kind of reminds me of for those old school people that know what I'm talking about. It kind of reminds me of a comic book or style graphics that you would see in the beginning of like an NES or Super Nintendo game. They're kind of done like that. There's no voice acting. There's nothing. It's just you have to read everything.
Well, that's what was down at the bottom. Guard tool, guard two, uncool, and then it's so everything's down there. So yeah, I don't think that there's any voices in this. I think yeah, you have
No,
to.
it's just
It just
it's
kind of
just
beeped.
yeah, it just beeps while the thing's going, so you have to read along. So
Yeah. So then there's and then the one for blindsided looks like this. I
yeah,
couldn't find a lot of pictures from these, so I had to kind of use what was available. So it's probably a little tiny for people, but it's this is more of a well, the other one, yeah, kind of seems more like a like kind of like for a game or something. This
yeah,
seemed more motion because they used to, way back in the day for like the Marvel cartoons, like Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, is they would
yeah,
literally take the comic book and take the panels and make those animated, which is why
yeah.
half the time people never spoke. They just kind of stood and then, the
You would
mouth would
you
move.
wouldn't see mouths moving or anything, or
Yeah, they would just
it
kind
would
of
just you would just see like a character and you would see the cape like fluttering in the wind. Or they did one for one of the Street Fighter movies where they did one of the motion comic, and I think one of the characters, the bandana, you seen that floating in the air. That's the only thing you really see moving.
yeah, it's
So,
very like restricted. I kind of like the look of it. I don't mind
yeah,
those. I know that they were criticized.
yeah.
But
Well, it's kind of like it's like it's almost like an audio book of the comic, really, because they're taking the same comic and they're just instead of you seeing the entire page, they're going panel by panel, and they're having the voice actors do the voices for each character. So if they would have done one for we use Blindsided for example, like we had Vin Diesel doing the voice of Riddick, and then we had the guy doing the voice for, or the girl doing the voice for the lady that was with them, and then there was another one where, you know, so on and so forth.
Right. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing these animation, and that's what I find interesting when they, when they do have like the Animatrix. It's a bunch of different people, so everything looks totally different. They also did that for Night of the Living Dead, the animated version of that. It's a whole bunch of different people who do it. A lot of the times it's Japanese or Chinese or these guys who do these type of things. They're not really even Americans, but because they, the Asians seem to do it better. But so that covers everything. Yeah, Blindsided. Yeah, but it's 2013. So that pretty much covers that. But what we do have before we split is this is from Screen Rant.
Let me say how I watched these, because I actually watched them
let's also
in
rank
chronological order. We could rank them too, but I'm just saying how I watched them. When you sent me, I did not watch Slam City in order, so I watched Slam City out of order. I did not know that was like it was before Pitch Black, so I watched that at the very end. So what I did was I watched Pitch Black first, then I watched Dark Fury. And this kind of, I felt like was probably the best way. And if you want to set yourself through the torture, watch Into Pitch Black. So in that order, then after you watch into Pitch Black, you see that god awful whatever that was. You can cleanse yourself by watching Chronicles of Riddick. Do a better movie with the crappy movie. Then watch Blindsided. Then watch Riddick. Then that's how I watched it. So then I watched Slam City. I should have watched Slam City first, but I didn't know it was like,
I did not put that much work into it. I watched Pitch Black, then I watched Chronicles of Riddick because I wasn't in the mood for animated, and then I watched Riddick and called it a night because I did it on my day off, and then the next day I ended up watching Dark Fury, and then after that I then watched the two like comic motion ones, so Blindsided and Merc City, and then I just knew how much I hated Into Pitch Black, so that was the last thing I watched, and just turned it off after 20 minutes. So I do not know if I
remember you sending me the link, and then later that night, because we're different time zones, so it was like, so I got your message like 3 hours later, so I was like in bed at that time when you sent me the message, and you said, Into Pitch Black is just awful.
It's awful. It really is.
Like,
it is.
I was like, I've heard. I have not watched it yet at that point, but I was like, I've heard.
I don't get the point. I don't, because there's no structure. I don't know, maybe on TV in between the commercial breaks, maybe it made it like, oh, this is a little story, and this is a little story, and this is a little story. So then it's like, oh, okay, after each commercial break, there's like a little story. But this was just 43 minutes. There was no breaks in it. And it was just like, none of this makes sense. The guy sits down at a table and he's talking to somebody, and then that cuts to a scene from Pitch Black where the really kind of pompous rich guy who's drinking wine or whatever it was is just like, well, who made that noise? Who did this and who did that? And they're like, well, we don't know. And it's just like, what does this have to do with anything? Like in the movie, it does, but what does this have to do in this this special? Like I don't. It's like a random
if they would have just left out like the scenes from Pitch Black, I think it may have been a little bit more tolerable. But again, the thing that kind of threw me off with it was the little camera footage that you seen of the people that were going to investigate the crash. that was like shot in red for some
Oh yeah, yeah,
reason,
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
and it was like, they're like, we lost the transmission. I'm like, did you really have to have it repeat? And they did it every single time, and that was kind of annoying. It was like a glitch, and then they would repeat like the last two words or something. I'm like, guys, just make it glitch out, and then just finish what they had to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would say watch everything, you know, and if you're into video games, maybe do it in order of how they're supposed to be. And,
yeah,
excuse me, to,
well, sure.
thank you, you know, to kind of get the full experience. I don't play video games, so I'll never know, but maybe do it that way, but
You can
leave
watch it on
into
YouTube.
Pitch Black out. Just leave it out. Oh, you
Okay.
can't. Oh, it's one of those game, like, was it playthroughs?
Yeah, you can watch it on there
Okay, yeah, maybe
if
I'll
you
check
want
that
to.
out and see what it's like. So, because Vin Diesel and the director definitely seem to be committed to these. I mean, it's not like things are
Yeah,
done half-assed. So,
no,
except for
and
into Pitch Black.
which I'm not even sure if they actually did. Did the director even have anything to do with that one,
I
or
think it
was
said
that just?
story by. It's like story by him and somebody else.
Oh, okay, so maybe he was in charge of the story, but then they screwed it up, and he's like, it's non-canon now.
Yeah, because which they say place before it makes it the doctor who gives him and shows several storylines. It does not say. Yeah, I can't even click on it to see. I do think it said in the credits. I think that it said story by, and
Okay.
it was him. It was the director and somebody else. So, but who knows how close that is? So.
Yeah.
But
But
so if I were to rank these, and I'm only going to rank what we have here.
yes.
So I would say my favorite is Riddick, then Chronicles. Well, basically backwards. Then Pitch Black, and then Dark Fury.
Okay. I'm gonna basically do the same thing that you said, but I'm gonna flip Riddick and Chronicles. I think I like Chronicles a little bit better.
Okay.
But
All right.
Riddick was still good. I enjoyed Riddick. Pitch Black is my second favorite. Dark Fury, I don't even know if I can even really count that one because it was kind of like a short film. So maybe
I
I'll
only
just
count it because it's part of this. So I figured, well, you know,
okay.
might as well.
So if I had to count it, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's not one I'm. If I'm gonna rewatch them at some point, maybe I might watch it a second time. But it's better.
Okay. All right. So let me see if I could do something here. If not, then we'll just let me see here. Oh, I did it. Okay. Now, technically, I should have two screens for this, two monitors, because I have to kind of flip back and forth and not see what I'm doing. So this is the last thing that we'll do. We'll do this pretty fast. So it's Screen Rant. Every Vin Diesel movie franchise ranked from worst to best. So I'm just going to go over to this page. I'm not going to be able to see what's on the StreamYard. So, okay. So, oh, by the way, Alien Earth sucks. God, does it
I've heard.
suck? It is awful. Can I get rid of this? Can I? There we go. Okay. All right. So, oh, that's from Fast and Furious. So let's see. Okay. We're not going to go through all that stuff. Okay. So, worst to best. So, number 4 is the Triple X series. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
Mm, I don't know. I have to reserve my judgment for later, to see what's is the Fast and Furious number 5
Well,
or does it just go?
let's just then
Oh, so there's
oh,
no number 5, just 4.
upcoming films Triple X 4.
Okay.
When what's the date on this? Does it say July 4th, 2025? So
Okay.
okay. So, and then it gives you, because I did kind of scroll down on this a little bit. So, triple X. So it looks like, well, okay, so the first triple X, that didn't do, okay, yeah, so 267 million. Then the one that he's not in, but Ice Cube is in, State of the Union, 71 million. And then Return of Xander Cage did 345 million. So it actually made the most.
Okay.
Okay. So then after that, so Chronicles of Riddick is number 3. Well,
Okay.
or the Riddick series, I guess. So, yeah, and it does list Riddick 4.
Okay.
And yeah, the only spin-off that it mentions is the is Dark Fury. I don't think it mentions, yeah, there's nothing for that. So, and then Riddick. Yeah, so Pitch Black, 53 million. Chronicles of Riddick, which made more money than the first one, 107 million. And then Riddick did 94.7. So Chronicles still made the most.
Okay. And it was a flop? Like the Chronicles was a flop?
I guess compared to its budget,
Okay.
even though it did the best out of all of these. And then 2, they are counting Guardians of the Galaxy because he's Groot.
I don't know if that should even be included. Because, I mean, all he's saying is, I am Groot. So, I mean, should that even count?
He makes a lot. I think he gets like $1 million for this. I mean, that's amazing. I don't think so because it's
I could get $1 million just for saying I am Groot over and over and over again.
I know, and really all he has to do is say it once, and they just have to repeat it. Yeah, I wouldn't count this one either. It does say upcoming films, Guardians of the Galaxy 4. I don't know about that. TV show, I Am Groot.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
and then the best. Okay, so we come down here. I don't think we need to go through all of these, but this is the. Yeah, we don't have to go through all of these. I mean, people, if you want to see it, you can always pause the video to look at all of these.
And number
Guardians
1 is probably no surprise.
Fast and Furious.
I figured.
So let's see. So movies, first film. Okay, so we got cast. Okay, so we got a couple video games. There was a comic book release date. That's kind of a weird number there. Not saying anything for like an upcoming movie. And then, so we don't have to go through all of these. I'll just leave it up here for a second. But so Fast and the Furious. Okay, then the second one made. No, that's Tokyo Drift. Wait, where's? Did they leave one out? They left out part 2. Why is there no part 2?
Probably
here?
Because he wasn't in.
Oh, he's not in it. Yeah, he's not in it at all. That's why. Okay. Yeah, so Fast Furious.
He's mentioned in it, but he's not in it there.
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift, he had a cameo, and then everything else he was in.
Yeah, so Fantastic Four did the 206, and then Tokyo Drift made less, but then Fast and the Furious, when he returns, made more than the other two. Fast 5 made even more, so that actually doubled its money. Fast 6 did even more. Furious 7 did even more. The Fate of the Furious did a little less, but it still did pretty well. Oh, no, billion. So Fast 7 and 8 made over $1 billion
Oh, wow.
each. and then Fast 9, which I think is the one they go to space. See, that should be the next film, is them on Mars. So if because they took a car and they launched it into space to like destroy like this like a satellite. So now that they've conquered space, they should go to Mars. So it should be Fast and Furious on Mars. And you see them in like the cars, but they look like those kind of like rovers that you always see on the planets. And they're like going over Mars, and there's
They
craters.
gotta do a street race on Mars or something.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. And then Fast X made less. So Fast 9 didn't hit $1 billion, and then Fast X made less than Fast 9. Not by much, but
yeah.
Yeah, but I heard the same thing as you. At first, I thought it was just, oh, Fast X, they're done. Vin Diesel said they were only going to make 10. Then I heard, yeah, sequel, and it's like, what? And then I heard, oh yeah, now it's a trilogy.
From what I was hearing, it was supposed to be like Fast X, like part like, what is it? Is it Fast X or FX?
It's just Fast X, so Fast 10.
X, okay. So from what I was understanding, it's supposed to be like that was supposed to be part 1. It's supposed to be Fast X part 2, Fast X part, and that was it. So evidently they're doing a trilogy now, so they might just change it and say Fast X something. Maybe give it a subtitle or something.
Fast XX, Fast XXX. The
Fast
final
porn.
film is supposed to digitally bring back Brian. No, I don't think that's a good idea because it's going to look crappy. Yeah, it's supposed to bring back Paul Walker, who died in 2013.
There we go. Fast. You touched on something. The last movie should be Fast XXX, and have Xander Cage team up with the Fast and Furious people.
Oh my God, you're brilliant! That would be great.
And that way we combine the Fast and Furious and Triple X trilogy.
They could be in the same world because they're just as realistic as each other, and then they could at the very, 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 very end, like the credits are done, something falls from space, and both of them go out to see what it is, and when they open it up, it's Riddick. And he lifts off the glasses and his eyes shine, and it just ends.
And then have all 3, Vin Diesel playing all 3 of them, and they should do the Spider-Man meme going.
Yeah. I think this is brilliant. If you guys out there steal this idea, we're going to sue you. We at least want to thank you, or idea buy. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. That is awesome. All right. Well, there we go.
We just gave Hollywood more ideas, so hopefully they do something with it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Remember to thank us.
XXX. Yeah. And then it could be called something like, when it officially comes out down the road as like a re-release, it could be like Riddick Fast XXX. It'd be like the colon.
Mm-hmm.
So that could work.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, well, anything else, Donald, or are we?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Okay, I do like that this was under 3 hours and we covered a whole bunch of stuff. And I think the photos and stuff maybe kept us on track a little bit better. Stay on target. Yeah. So
stay on target.
Ramble.
We didn't have to give the gab today.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, I'm done. So I'm if it's true, I'm hoping, obviously Riddick 4. If it says XXX 4, I'm excited about that. And then I would love to see another Fast and Furious film. So, looking forward to Mr. Diesel.
Exactly. So, I mean, hopefully, maybe at some point when we eventually do get a XXX 4 or a Riddick 4, maybe we can do like a little mini episode where we talk about that movie or something.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? Maybe when we run out of Stallone movies for December, January, we'll go over to Vin Diesel, since we've already been covering his stuff. So, maybe hit the Fast and the Furious stuff. I can always watch that because I did I watched them all in chronological order, including
Okay.
all the shorts. So I did watch it as like Tokyo Drift is first, and then I went through the whole thing and I put in, because all of the shorts are on YouTube, but they're also on the discs. So you don't have to kind of search for them; they're already there. And that was
Okay.
interesting watching them all in order, because Han,
Okay.
one of the characters, is a big thing when it comes to how they're done in order, because the guy dies like 3 times, and then the fans were like, no, we want Han back, and then they bring him back, and then they explain in one of the
Somehow
other
he did.
movies.
Somehow
Yeah,
he survived.
yeah, done in some flashback. So but yeah, maybe we could tackle something like that, so we'll have to talk
I'm
about
down
that.
for it.
Groovy. All right, man. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching. This is one of our shorter ones, I think. So that's good. And yeah. And we'll see you next month on the next one. We already have an idea of what we want to do. I might as well let people know. It's original versus remake. So we just have to figure out what original film and what remake, and then you'll watch mine, I'll watch yours, and then we'll do it that way.
There we go. That
Yeah.
works.
So, okay. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thank you, Donald. And thank you, Vin Diesel. And we'll see you on the next one. So, bye, everybody. Bye.
Take care, guys.